I'm going to tell and go through a business model where you can start the business from practically £0, take it to £1,000,000, and even sell the company. And I will go through all of that with you in this video. When we're starting, we have a couple of reservations in business. Is it going to work? Can we actually make that sort of money? Will we need to have a lot of employees? Is it going to take a lot of hard work? And the reality is, it does take hard work, and some of you guys can't even sit through this video where I'm going to give you the foolproof plan, and then you ask yourself the question, well, why can't I make something work? Why can X person and X person make stuff work and I can't? The reality is, you don't even have patience to sit through a 20-minute video which is going to give you genuine benefit and teach you something. Rather, you'll go through on TikTok and Instagram Reels and flick through people on their Lamborghinis and like that video, and you will genuinely believe that you're benefiting. We have to understand that there's a problem here. We have to understand you guys aren't learning something taking this content in. But hopefully this video where I share exactly how to start a company, exactly how you can take the company to £1,000,000 valuation, I hope that these videos continue to give you guys benefit. Now, the UK government has just suggested that we've come out of a recession, which by the way is amazing. And I'll tell you exactly why it's amazing, because when a recession happens, a lot of companies let go of their employees. You know, if you have 50 or 70 employees, for example, and that's a small business, that's a small to medium-sized business, you will let go of 5 to 6 employees. And sometimes it's not because you don't have enough work. Sometimes it's an excuse to get rid of the dead wood. And that's fair enough. A lot of businesses do that. So what ends up happening is a business lets go of about 10% of their employees. And that isn't, the same for everyone, but a lot of businesses do that. So say now you have 100 employees, they will sack 10 employees. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't sound like it's great, right? Well, what happens is, in a recession, a lot of people start struggling with their finances and the money. And so they start looking for new jobs. That's another thing that starts to happen when you're in uncertain situations or uncertain circumstances, and especially cost of living, recession, and there's a lot of scare in the market. People want more money and more money in their jobs. So when people start moving around in their jobs, it creates movement in the industry. Now, as soon as things start getting better, a company will have 90 employees instead of 100 employees. Now, they've got a project that's come in and they need to execute that project. They need to make things right. They need to make sure that that project is out in a certain date. And that could be in any industry. This is not industry specific. When work needs to get done, obviously, employees are the ones that get the work done. And so what would a business do? A business will go out and hire those 10 people again straight away. So let's say today, it's Monday, 13th of May, right? So Monday, 13th of May, let's say a company now says, we let go of 10 people. Now we want to quickly recruit another 10 people. What do? Well, they might put out an advert, but the first thing they'll do is go speak to the recruitment companies that they use. So they'll speak to the recruitment companies, and the recruitment companies, they'll say, we need 10 people. And this is, by the way, only for a small to medium-sized company. So if they need 10 people and they go to their recruitment company and they say, we need 10 people, how much is that recruitment company going to make? Well, to give you guys an idea, on a £35,000 salary, let's say £30,000 salary, which is very medium, very on the lower side, if anything, right? But assuming, by the way, there are people that get hired at 70, 80, £90,000, £30,000. We as a recruitment company will charge 15%. And so our fee on that person would be at least £4,500, which is one guy, by the way. But this company has let go of 10 people. And now they're going to need another 10 people. So £4,500 for one person, meaning 10 people, they will spend close to £45,000 to hire another 10 people. Now, you might not get all of them. You might not end up hiring every single person. But guess what? You have other companies you can speak to. And a recruitment company will deal with a minimum of 3 to 4 companies. If it was just me, myself, I would be doing business with at least 3 to 4 companies. Now, let's put this into perspective. If you have 3 companies and a company says we need 3 or 4 people, then you're looking at close to £15,000 minimum. And then another company says we need 5 people. Well, you're looking at close to £20,000 to £25,000. And another company says we just need 2. These numbers, by the way, are very, very small. Out of a recession, that is exactly where a recruitment company makes a lot of money, because companies need people. And companies also understand that unless they hire the right people, their company isn't going to end up doing that well. And by the way, they've just got rid of the dead wood. So they will not want to just get anyone and everyone in. Companies definitely understand that having the right candidates is the most important thing. Why would a company not just go put out an advert and hire people themselves and save all that money? It's because recruitment companies have access to candidates that companies don't have access to. And the industry, the recruitment employment industry, 70% of the candidates are passive. And what that basically means is you are not looking actively for work. I mean, how many people do we know that would happily take on a new job, but they're not actively looking for a new job, right? That's 70% of the market. And let me put that in other words. If you're on £40,000 a year, you're not actively going and applying to new jobs. But if someone came to you and said, I've got a new job, £55,000 plus car allowance, you would be interested. You would at least want to know what the situation is. And that is 70% of the market. And well, a company cannot get access to that 70% of the market, which is why they bring in recruitment companies to get access to the really good candidates. So now, how would you go about that? How can you go about setting up your own recruitment company? How can you go about setting up this business model? And can you do it by yourself? The answer to all of that is yes, but I'll explain exactly how. In fact, I set up my own recruitment company when I was 25 years old. Today at 31, we deal with some of the biggest companies in the world. In fact, I would say probably the biggest company in the world, and I can't give out too many names, but I've only been able to do that by being consistent, working hard, and turning up every single day. And actually, when I was 25 years old, I set up my own recruitment company from my living room. So it's definitely very possible to be able to set up your own recruitment company from a small space where the cost isn't very high. And in essence, what you are doing is finding an employee for an employer. So you get in touch with companies. You get in touch with companies that may or may not even be looking for someone. Because remember, actually, the companies that are not looking for someone are the companies where you definitely want to keep in touch with them. If someone is actively looking for someone today, they've probably already spoken to other recruitment companies. They've probably already started their recruitment process. But if a company isn't looking for anyone today, you want to build a relationship with them. You want to build a connection with them. And so when the work picks up, so when they actually need someone, guess who they pick up the phone to? Well, you. You won't need to hope that your timing is right. You won't need to hope that, this company just so happens to be looking, right? Because there you're dealing with, well, unfortunately, it's a bit of a gamble. And that's not what you want. That's not how you want to do business. You want to speak to every single company and build a relationship with every single company. As long as there's potential there, and as long as you see the potential to make money with this company, you should be in touch with this company all the time. So, not that the company turns around to you and says, yes, we do actually need someone, but so they call you the time they do need someone. And those are the companies that you really want to do business with. So some unfortunate people, and I say this unfortunately, and I say, people have not started their own recruitment companies, and people haven't actually ran recruitment companies and therefore give advice. And it's actually very, very problematic. Some people will say you need to go on to Indeed and Read and job boards and actually speak to companies that are advertising the fact that they are looking for someone. That is terrible. You're not going to make money like that. And the reason I say that is because the companies that have already started the recruitment process and are advertising, recruitment companies are already looking for them. So the likelihood of you actually finding someone successfully is extremely low. You want to be doing recruitment for companies that haven't actively advertised anyone. And so you can say to them, I'm more than happy to find someone for you, but leave this exclusively with me for 2 days and I'll make sure I get the right candidates for you. And that's exactly how you make money. So if you're really trying to make money, and I have scaled my recruitment company to making hundreds and thousands of pounds a year, and the only way I've been able to do that is by making sure our processes are right, making sure I'm picking up the phone and calling companies and speaking to companies. Today, we deal with some of the biggest companies in the world, and that's not happened by doing things wrong. And so coming back to the point, you need to speak to companies. You need to make sure you speak to the companies that aren't looking for someone, and you build connections and relationships with them. Now, if a company does end up looking for someone, that's fine as well. It's not to say that you're going to say you're not doing business with them. Now, then you go on to job boards and you find the candidates. And the way you find a candidate could be on LinkedIn, and it could be on CV Library, it could be on Read, it could be on Total Jobs. You go and find the candidates. And there are other ways. And you headhunt candidates. And depending on what fees are agreed with the company, it depends on how much effort you want to put into this company. How seriously are they actually looking for someone? That is the difference between you making money for your company and you not making money. Because some people will just get happy when a company says to them, we're fine for you to look for someone. But actually the reality is when they go on to look for someone, that company was never seriously looking to hire. You need to make sure you ask questions in a way where you are absolutely sure this company is definitely looking for someone. And if I send the right candidate, they are going to hire that person and therefore they're going to pay me my fee. There are processes and things that have to happen in the correct way. Now, to give you guys an idea, if we can fill 5 jobs, and 5 jobs are not difficult. It might sound difficult to you because you're thinking about numbers. You're thinking, well, 4.5 times 5, that's £20,000 plus a month. How can I possibly do that? Don't think about that. Actually, if you think, can I get a company to give me 3 jobs and can I get another company to give me 2 jobs? And the answer to that is absolutely, because there are many companies that will give 20, 30, 40 jobs a month, right? So 5 jobs a month is nothing. Now, can you find 5 candidates for these companies a month? And the answer to that is absolutely yes, you can. And now, assuming the salary on average is £40,000 and your fees are 15%, can you make £6,000 per candidate? The answer is absolutely yes, you can. And if you get 5 of those on £6,000, then you're making £30,000 profit every single month. That is the recruitment industry. That's how recruitment works. And it works, by the way. Social media marketing absolutely went crazy. Other forms of businesses on social media went absolutely crazy. Recruitment is something that not many people know about, and that is a fact. Recruitment's a multi-billion pound industry, and there are a lot of people, experts that are in the recruitment industry, and the only people that do recruitment, unfortunately, are the ones that have the experience, that have worked for companies and now wanting to start their own companies. Actually, the reality is people on social media, the youth, the younger generation, haven't even got into the industry because they don't know it. It's a service-based business. All you do is find a candidate for a company, and if you can do that successfully, you make money. Guess what? It doesn't cost you that much either. So now, if you're spending 200, 300, £400 on a job board, on purchasing the website for getting access to the CVs, and that isn't a must, by the way, because actually you could start a company from nothing, a recruitment company from nothing, by finding the candidates on LinkedIn. You can search candidates on LinkedIn and find the candidates successfully, placing them in their job, and then use that money to find or go for a job board. And job boards are websites, and this stuff is something that I will continue to talk about, and maybe I will talk about it in the upcoming video. So make sure I get subscribed to the channel, because these are things that I want to share with you as much as I can. But if you can make £30,000 filling jobs for just 5 people, 5 people successfully get the job with companies, you're making £30,000, which means £360,000 a year. And so if you look to sell that company, you will get a minimum of 3 times what you're making a year. And that, I promise you guys, is not even something difficult. Actually, achieving these sort of numbers are extremely, extremely easy. And you can do it from your living room as long as you put the work in, as long as you put the effort in. That is what it comes down to. A lot of people can't commit to 2-3 hours a day. A lot of people will not put the effort in. A lot of people will not put the actions in. And that is exactly what it comes down to. So if this is something you're interested in, again, you can give it a shot alone. But let me assure you, if you have the theory, if you understand exactly how to do it, what to say on the phone, sales, cold calling, speaking to the candidates, dealing with the back end, there is a lot of it that once you understand, it becomes a lot easier. And I do have a platform where I actually teach how to start your own recruitment company. It's not even just me, myself. I've gone to 5 other experts, directors with 25 years plus on how you can learn how to start a recruitment company. So guys, if you're interested in that, leave your details there in the opt-in page and someone will be in touch. But hopefully that gives you the idea and the potential on starting your own recruitment company.